26th of December, another Boxing Day test match. Well, I'm not talking about the India versus Australia match at MCG. Well, Pakistan will be taking on New Zealand in the test series beginning from 26th of December. Well, it's a big series in many aspects. Well, New Zealand will want to win the series to solidify their position in the top two of the table for World Test Championship. So it's a very crucial series for New Zealand as well. Well, for Pakistan, they are missing their crucial players like Babar Azam and Shadab Khan, also Asad Shafiq. So it will be very interesting to see what the young ones selected for the Pakistan team do for this 11 and how they perform well on this tour. Well, this tour, since Pakistan landed in New Zealand, has been marred with COVID issues, with a major contingent of Pakistani players testing positive at various stages of their quarantine. Well, at one position, Misbahul Haq, their coach, was considering of pulling out of this tour. After all, this tour went through. We had the T20 games, and now the Test series beacons, and it will be very interesting to see for us Indian fans as well. With our stake lying in the hand of Pakistan somewhat, if Pakistan win at least one Test match in New Zealand, they'll be knocking New Zealand out of World Test Championship for sure. So it will be very interesting to see what 11s both of these teams field, with New Zealand dominating in their home conditions, winning against India, winning against West Indies comprehensively, and now against Pakistan. It will be an exciting series, and we'll be discussing that as a preview in this video of ours. So, Abhishek, what do you think about the prospect, about the New Zealand lineup? What will they pull out of the hat for the first Test match starting Boxing Day?
Well, Atisham, the way New Zealanders have performed at their home has simply been phenomenal. I don't remember when was the last time they lost a home series. Do you remember that series, Atisham? Because
Ah,
the way they are going in the recent past, they are almost winning everything.
Uh, well, Abhishek, the last time I remembered that they were challenged was when Mushfiqur Rahim and Shakib Al Hassan had that brilliant partnership with Shakib scoring more than 200 runs. Well, most of our viewers and listeners would not remember that test match because that was way back a couple of years ago. And the last time I remember they lost a test series, I am not certain of this, but I think it was Brendan McCullum's farewell test series, which Australia won. So I remember that test series in 2015, I assume, that they lost in the 2015-16 season. But after that, they have been phenomenal in their home conditions. And again, they won against England as well a couple of years ago in the last season, and beating us, that's a big thing. So they are a force to reckon with in their home conditions.
Right. The way their combination has performed well over the years, it has been a tried and tested template for them. They have a great bowling attack, one of the best I'll say, along with Australia and India at this stage. But the way they are going about things, they have discovered a new bowler, new bowling sensation. We first saw his glimpses in the India series, Kylie Jamieson. And look at the way he has grown from that point to this last series against West Indies, where he ended up being the second highest wicket taker for them. So they have a template. They stick to that template, and why not? They have been so successful with that tried and tested formula for them in Test matches. So
Correct.
it's going to be very tough for Pakistan, I feel, uh, because of their inconsistent batting performance. And if we talk about New Zealand, it's going to be a green pitch. But Adesham, I have a theory here. I don't think New Zealand will prepare a green top, considering the resources which Pakistan have in their fast bowling department.
Correct,
Shaheen
Abhishek.
Afridi, Naseem Shah.
You correctly mentioned New Zealand will think twice before preparing a green top. But again, to start off with, I think they would go for a green pitch because the batsmen that New Zealand have, Kane Williamson, the likes of Tom Latham, Ross Taylor, and BJ Watling, these players are very comfortable playing on those green tops. And if you remember, recently Williamson scored a brilliant double century on one of those green tops against a good West Indian attack. So I think they'll go for a green pitch to start off with. You talked about the bowling lineup of Pakistan. Mohammad Abbas. Shaheen Afridi, Naseem Shah. Well, talking about Mohammad Abbas, I would say that along with Hazelwood, he is the modern day McGrath. Averages 21.7, has taken 80 wickets in 21 test matches. Well, if you compare that with Glenn McGrath, well, Glenn McGrath finished with a career average of 21.64. Well, that's a big number to compare with. But again, Mohammad Abbas has been brilliant over the years, especially in English conditions. New Zealand conditions are pretty much similar. If you remember in the recently concluded Test match series against England, he bowled that Jaffa to Ben Stokes, got England reeling at 12 for 3 in their first innings. So, yes, with Mohammad Abbas, Shaheen Afridi, and Naseem Shah in the Pakistan lineup, New Zealand will definitely think twice before preparing any pitch for that matter.
Right. So let's start with this combination, the playing 11 of New Zealand, and then we'll go back to Pakistan's playing 11.
Correct.
So first and foremost, no-brainer, Tom Latham. He has been the proven performer for New Zealand and Mr. Consistent for them at the top. So when the ball is doing a lot in, especially in New Zealand conditions, like you said at the Sham, the ball swings a lot. There's a lot of movement as well. So if you're facing a quality bowling attack, the important job of the opener is to see out those initial tough overs, and then he provides that great option at the top, along with maybe Tom Blundell, because Will Young got an opportunity against West Indies in the absence of BJ Watling. BJ Watling is a wicketkeeper, so Tom Blundell was playing as a wicketkeeper in that series against the West Indies. But with BJ Watling back in the setup, he'll be most likely the number one choice wicketkeeper in the playing 11, and he has done really well in difficult situations and circumstances for New Zealand. So Tom Blundell can open with Tom Latham, along with Kane Williamson, Ross Taylor, and Henry Nichols at 3, 4, and 5. What a solid middle order they have at the Sham. Because Williams, he's one of the greatest players of modern generation. At number 4, Ross Taylor, already one of the best New Zealand players to have played for them. And number 5, Henry Nichols. When you have the likes of Ross Taylor and Kane Williamson, and even Tom Latham for that matter, someone like Henry Nichols can go off the radar. But he has been a really good performer for New Zealand. He's averaging almost close to 40 for them. So 3, 4, and 5 looks very solid. And for any bowling attack to breach through their defenses is going to be a challenge. I'm looking forward to this contest between middle order batsmen of New Zealand against this quality seam attack of Pakistan.
Yes, Abhishek, Henry Nichols, as you rightly mentioned, has got a lot of runs lately for New Zealand at that number 5 spot. And he is a perfect glue for the top order. And for someone like BJ Watling coming in at number 7, and a player like Santner coming lower down the order, well, they have selected Santner for the series because they want to just solidify their position by winning this test series. So Santner again is a great batting option that they have. He bowls decently well in test matches. But if you remember against England, along with Watling, he had that big partnership, got a massive 100. Uh, New Zealand went on to win that series. So yes, with Santner again there in that lower middle order, it'll be a good boost for them as far as batting goes. Well, there's no question as far as bowling is concerned for New Zealand. They have their top 4 pacers. Well, what do you have to say about that, Abhishek?
Adishan, the last series, again, I'll go back to the West Indies series. We all knew they had a world-class attack in the form of Neil Wagner, Tim Southey, and Trent Bolt. Now, the New Zealanders have got a very lethal quartet of fast bowlers. Now, they have got one more bowler, Kylie Jamieson. He troubled the Indians in that series against India. Now he has troubled the West Indians and was very, very effective against them. So I'm very excited to see Kylie Jamieson. And if New Zealand does play with 4 fast bowlers, then I don't think they'll have an option of playing Mitchell Santo or any spinner because Ajaz Patel was there and he was dropped for this tour.
What I think, Abhishek, is that BJ Watling will bat at number 6. Santner will come in at number 7, giving them that fifth bowling option. So 4 fast bowlers along with Santner. Watling as the keeper, and the top five batsmen as you had discussed. So that should be the lineup.
Yes, Atisham. So if we again discuss the lineup right from the openers, Tom Latham and Tom Blundell at 1 and 2, three Kane Williamson, Ross Taylor at four, Henry Nichols at five, maybe Daryl Mitchell or Mitchell Sander. We'll have to wait for that final playing 11 to come out. At six, at seven will be BJ Watling. At 8, 9, 10, and 11 will be the four fast bowlers in the form of Kylie Jamieson, Trent Bolt, Tim Southee, and Neil Wagner at number 11.
Well, Abhishek, yes, that's a very formidable New Zealand 11. Without further ado, I'll be discussing the Pakistani lineup and the challenge that they could possess to this formidable New Zealand lineup. Starting off with the openers, it's a no-brainer there. Shan Masood will be opening with Abid Ali because these two openers have done really well of late. Abid Ali had a great debut in 2019, got a century on his debut, and has done really well in bits and pieces since then. Shan Masood played really well in the first innings of the first test match of the recently concluded Tour of England that Pakistan had. Got a massive 100, 140 odd. So that's the opening combination, and I think that's a given. At number three will be their ex captain, Azhar Ali. He has been that solid figure in that lineup after Misbah and Yunus departed, and he has done well in every conditions everywhere. So yes, they'll be looking forward to him performing really well at number three. At number four, they'll be missing their key man, Babar Azam, their incumbent captain. He'll not be there. So at number four, I think they will be going with Haris Sohail in the absence of Babar Azam because he's again a very solid batsman. At number five will be their comeback man, Fawad Alam. Well, he made his comeback after 10 years in that series against England. He'll keep that number five spot with Asad Shafiq missing out on selection. So, yes, Fawad Alam will be there at number five. At number six will be Mohammad Rizwan, the stand in captain. Well, that's a great responsibility bestowed on his shoulder. He recently replaced Sarfaraz Ahmed in that lineup. Well, and now he is the captain in the absence of Babar Azam. So it will be a very big responsibility on his shoulders. And I think he'll be very excited to look forward to these two test matches being the captain. At number seven, Shadab Khan performed really well in the series against England that was recently concluded. But again, he is injured and he's out of the 11 and not available for selection. Well, in his absence, there's only one player that Pakistan would be looking forward to. That will be Fahim Ashraf, filling in that space and filling those shoes of Shadab Khan at number seven. Well, talking about 8, 9, 10, and 11, well, it's a given. Yasir Shah is the number one spinner, and he'll keep that spot at number 8 as the lone spinner. And talking about the remaining three spots, well, the famous trio that Pakistan has recently unearthed, Mohammad Abbas, Shaheen Afridi, and Naseem Shah. So that will be the 11 that Pakistan could possibly put up for this test match. And with missing their key players being an issue for them, these players have to stand up, perform really well to compete against a strong New Zealand side in their own backyard. Well, and if they turn up, win at least one of those two test matches, it will augur greatly for the Indian side as well. Because again, the World Test Championship, the final, that's in the picture, and that's what India would be looking forward to. And if Pakistan are able to even level this series 1-all, it will knock New Zealand out of contention. So yes, this is a very important series that we'll be looking forward to.
Will you call it as an upset if Pakistan managed to win even a single game? Or do you think, Atisham, that Pakistan are a good enough side to beat New Zealand and it won't be an upset?
Well, Abhishek, as an answer to this, there are two sides. Well, Pakistan are a side good enough to beat any team anywhere in the world, and that we have seen over decades now. Because if Pakistan turn up, they can win a game at any given situation against any given team on any given ground. But I will call it an upset if New Zealand were to lose one of those test matches, because in test matches you have to perform well over a period of time. And if Pakistan are able to do so, they'll surely beat New Zealand. But again, with the prowess of New Zealand, if Pakistan were able to even win one of those test matches, I'll call it an upset.
Right, that brings us to the end of this preview between New Zealand and Pakistan. And our predictions are 1-1 if India have to reach that final of World Test Championship. But let's see how it goes. And obviously, New Zealand are strong favorites to win the series 2-0.
Well, Abhishek, not predictions, not entirely predictions, but we are hoping that it would end 1-1 and the series would be a tie. That will augur well for Indian fans. Well, that entirely brings us to the end of this episode. If you liked our content, please go ahead, drop a comment, and follow us on different streaming platforms. We are there on Spotify, we are there on Apple Podcast as well. Thank you.